We're going to talk about animation, and the idea for animation is pretty simple. We initialize the canvas, set the coordinate system, maybe set up some other variables, and then there is some kind of loop which repeatedly draws the scene, and we'll do that shortly, and then it shows the scene with some delay. So it'll wait, in this case, 250 milliseconds, a quarter of a second, and then move on and draw another scene. Now, in this little program, this loop will never terminate, but perhaps there is some kind of termination condition, and eventually we do a StdDraw.close, which shuts down the window. So I'm going to do a really simple animation here. I am going to draw a ball that moves along a sine curve. So I'm going to set my x and y coordinates, set x scale, to be from minus math.pi to plus math.pi. And in fact, I'll set the y coordinates to the same because I've got a square window. I want this coordinate system to be square as well. Okay, and then instead of just having a while true loop, I'm going to have a for loop with a double that starts at minus pi, and while x is less than positive pi, I'm going to increment x, let's say by 0.1. I'll delete that. I'm going to write a separate method to draw the scene for a particular x. I'll show it for a while, and then when that for loop is done, we'll close the window. So let's write public static void draw scene for a particular x value. So let's get rid of that. So here I draw the scene, and it can be as complicated or as simple as I want. Even if it's complicated, the screen won't flicker. You won't be able to see me drawing the screen, because there is automatic double buffering switched on in StdDraw. You do not have to switch it on yourself. So what I will do is I will clear the screen, StdDraw.clear the screen, because this is a new scene I want to draw from scratch, and I'll put in a color. I think I've got a color here that I've chosen previously, and I have to import color. There we go. So we clear the screen. I want to draw the axes. So StdDraw.set pen color, and now I need to set a different color. I'll use white for the axes, and the axes are just two lines going from minus math.pi 0. Where am I? 0 to positive math.pi 0. That's the x-axis, and the y is exactly the same, except it goes from 0 minus pi to 0 positive pi. Okay, that's the axis. And now I'm going to draw the actual ball. So I'm going to set this pen color, draw set pen color to another nice color that I've got on a secret list, 216-2796. There we go. And I'm just going to draw a ball, full circle. At coordinate x, math.sine of x, and the radius, I'll just make that 0.2. Okay, right. So once again, I initialize my canvas. I have some kind of loop which will draw the animation, and inside that loop I draw one frame of the animation. I draw the scene, I display it, and I delay a little while, and then I draw the next frame. And I keep on doing that, and at the end I close down. And in my frame I clear the screen so I don't see the previous frames. I, in this case, draw a set of axes, and I draw a colored ball. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, not bad. It's a little slow, and the ball moves in too fast. So I'm just going to change, I'm going to wait for it to quit, and then I'll change the I'll change those parameters. I want the ball to move in not in such big jumps, so I think I'll go 0.01, but this means I'm going to draw many more frames, 10 times as many frames, so it will take 10 times as long. So I've got to make the delay smaller so that the whole animation will speed up. In fact, I'm going to make this 10 milliseconds, so that's 100 frames per second. Let's see if that works. Oh, much nicer. It's much smoother. It really looks like a, well, not exactly like a ball bouncing, but close enough.